Hey everyone, welcome to Cooking with Ciro. Today we have a special guest, my wife. She will be the featured ingredient. No, sorry, not that. She's gonna be the guest cooker. She's gonna be the guest baker on today's episode. We're gonna see how she makes her famous pumpkin pie, and I'm not saying it's famous because I like it. Everyone who has tasted it says it's amazing. So we're gonna watch her work. Roll the intro. Alrighty, so apparently pies have multiple steps. I didn't know that. And besides all the steps, there's also a bunch of ingredients. So this is how we're gonna do it. On screen, you'll see the list of everything you need. Feel free to pause the video, write everything down. In addition, at the beginning of every step, we will put up what will be needed. The first step is making the crust. 1 cup of flour is being sieved, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and mix that, the salt and the flour. Make sure it's well incorporated. All right, 1/3 cup of shortening. That looks about 1/3. What Ruth is doing here is called cutting. It essentially means you're mixing in the shortening with the flour. We're gonna make it all crumbly. So this is kind of what we're looking for. Very crumbly flour. All right, so we're also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vinegar. After you add the vinegar, go ahead and incorporate it into the flour mixture. Now we will gradually put in 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk and continue to mix. We're going to not overmix this. The more you overmix it, the tougher the crust will be. We do not want this crust to be tough. We want it to be a nice and flaky crust. As you can see, this crust looks and will be very crumbly, which is what we're looking for in this particular recipe. Once you have your crust in a dough ball, cover it in some plastic, and we're gonna chill it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Once the crust is chilling in the fridge, we're gonna make our praline. It consists of finely chopped pecans, 1/3 cup pecans, chop them up. You will transfer the pecans to a bowl, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And it's okay to get your hands dirty. Make sure that all the ingredients in the praline are well incorporated. That should be the final product of the praline. Set it to the side until you need it. Next, we're gonna prep the surface to roll our pie crust. Flour up your rolling pin and let's start rolling. You're gonna try your darnest to make it nice and circly. So my wife is an expert roller, rolling in that dough. This recipe calls for a 9-inch baking tin. All right, and there you go. That's kind of what you're looking for. You want the entire pie tin to fit in the rolled out crust. Get yourself a little spatula. Do this part carefully as this crumbly crust is delicate and it has been rolled out fairly thin. This is a little tip. You can dust your tin in some flour. The pie doesn't stick to the bottom. Don't worry about the sides. We'll take care of that in a later step. You just want the pie crust to make a full contact with the entire tin at the bottom. And here's where you cut the excess dough from the baking tin. Ruth is choosing to use some kitchen shears. Paring knife would probably work as well. And she's just gonna follow the outline of the tin. After the pie crust is trimmed, this right here is kind of what you're left with. Ruth is also gonna prick the sides. Give it a little bit of a decoration. Put your praline in your pie, and we're gonna spread that all around the bottom. Once the praline is all spread out at the bottom of the crust, this is gonna go into the oven, 450 degrees for 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes is up. Look at that, y'all. Wow. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's out of the oven and this praline is bubbling. It's hot. Careful. Set it aside so that it can start cooling. The next step is to do the filling. 1/2 cup of sugar going in, 1/2 cup of brown sugar. We're gonna also do 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Go ahead and sift that in. half a teaspoon of salt, cinnamon, ginger going in. Lastly, your cloves. Go ahead and mix all the dry ingredients with a fork. We're gonna start mixing some wet ingredients into the dry ingredients of our filling. 3 eggs going in, 16 ounces of pumpkin puree, which is a little bit more than 1 can. You'll get 1.5 cups of half and half. Ignore this. This is metric. That over there is the US of A units. There you go. While you're mixing, you'll go ahead and pour in gently your half and half. And this is good. Double check everything is well incorporated with a spatula. And this looks a little runny, but trust me, it will thicken up in the oven. It will be delicious. All right, now just pour in the mixture into your pie crust. Let it rise, let it fill. If you remember, the pie crust has already been in the oven along with the praline, so the crust is already partially baked. So we will cover up the edges with tin foil so they do not overbake and burn. Thank you, British Baking Show, for this little tip. That's an awesome show, y'all. Y'all go watch it on Netflix. Now this is gonna go in the oven, preheated to 350 degrees. So this is gonna go in here for 45 to 50 minutes. All right, so 45 minutes is up. Let's take a look. So if the stick comes out real wet, it's not ready yet. We'll leave it in another 5 to 10 minutes. So remember, there's praline at the bottom of this, so you're gonna probably have to get a knife that's pretty sharp to cut through that crust. Oh wow, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just very crunchy. Wow. You could see the praline there at the bottom. Look at that. Nice and crunchy. Nice flaky crust. It's not hard. Oh wow. Once it's even further chilled, it'll harden even better. Let's take a look at that. Wow. My favorite part of every video is the taste. Good? Yeah? This is my slice now. I'm not sharing this slice with you. This is so good. Thank you all for joining us on another episode of Cooking with Ciro. We are in the middle of our holiday bake series. We're having a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you are enjoying it as well. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And guess what? If you didn't like this video, it's okay. I'm gonna make another video. Go and like that one.